Hello and welcome to a new episode. I'm finally back. What in earth have I done with my camera? So, it had been a while. It have actually been almost 3 weeks now. Because I have been busy. More busy than I used to be. But this is the thing with Mars. The first Wednesday in Mars, I have my birthday. The second Wednesday in Mars, my oldest son have his birthday. And the third Wednesday in Mars, my youngest one have his birthday. So we have 3 very busy weeks. So it had been a while, as I said. But welcome. Here I am again. I am tired as crazy, but we will talk about knitting. If you're a new viewer, my name is Emilia. I'm the person behind Emilionstyle. I'm coming from Sweden. I'm living in Sweden with my husband, our 4 lovely children, and we're living on a small farm where we have chickens, turkeys, ducks. We're growing potatoes and apples and all the other crazy stuff you can imagine living on a farm. So, but I'm not talking about the farm as much. But I could do if you want to. But my main thing is knitting, spinning and crocheting, diamond painting, renovating and sewing and all that good stuff. But mostly knitting. So I have 3 finished objects for this time. And I think you can actually guess pretty good where the finished object is. One is actually not home finished because I have a little bit of issue, but I will talk about it. Should we start? Yeah, we can start with the finished object that I finished this Wednesday when my little boy was turning 7. I made him a new Musselburgh hat in a colorway that's called, I'll see if I can take one square up. Hunting Monster. This is a hand-dyed yarn from Linnea design, and I have already made a square of it. Of course, the leftovers that will go into his blanket. But here is the hat that he is wearing today. So I couldn't. So I need to take a picture of it, and he loves it. So that's a good thing, because I have been waiting to make this for him, because this yarn was purchased specific for him, because the name Hunting Monster. So yeah, he's pleased, and I'm happy that he's really liking it. So otherwise, we have also a dress that is finished and is the... Yeah, I have blanking out of the name. Totally. You will see it on the screen anyway, so. And it's this dress. I will see if I can stand up so you can see it a little bit better. So here we have it. I can lay it down in that. So you have this beautiful texture front part of the yoke. And then you have a little tiny ruffle. And then it's so damn long. And I need to do something about this edging. I have blocked it and I have pinned this picot edge out multiple times, but it's just rolling. And it's rolling a lot. So I don't know what I should do. Maybe if I try to steam it a bit and try to block it that way. We shall see. We shall see. But this is knitted up in a colorway from Hex Cattle Dye. Her name is Diana. She's here over here from Sweden. And the colorway is called Kalas. That means party. So the Swedish word for party is kalas. So you know. And we also do still have one of the old words left. That's fest, from feast. So yeah. So this is the Colors or Party colorway, and I love it. It's on her soft merino sock yarn base. I'm not a huge fan of merino sock base if you are going to do socks, but for a dress that needs a little bit more drape and softness, it's perfect. And the funniest thing is, every time I have used her soft sock base, or just merino sock I think it's called, I'm quite impressed that it don't peel, because I made a sweater for Alva, more like a tee, from Find So Faded and Find Your Fade, which is the sweater. One of them is, anyway. So I made a tee because she wanted just the short sleeves, and she had been wearing that one for, I don't know. I will go and get it so you can see. So here it is, this one, and she had been wearing this seriously at least 2 to 3 times a day. Not a day, a week, I would say. And I have been washing this in the washing machine without any problem. And as you can see, I think if I hold it really, really close, you have just this little bit underneath her arm that have been peeling. And for that amount of wear that she have been using this, I need to say I'm very, very, very impressed. So I have not peeled this at all. So this merino sock have been just wonderful. Otherwise, I know when I have bought other hand-dyed yarn in just merino sock, it peels. It peels like crazy. I don't have a problem with peeling though, but when it starts to peel really fast, I'm not so impressed. So this is in the same, on the same base, both of them. So I know this beautiful little dress will hold up nice. And that's good. And also that I can just throw it in the machine and wash it without any problems. So yeah, otherwise that's finished object number 2 for this week. These 3 weeks, maybe I should say. Then I have my other finished object that I also need to go and get, because I have thrown it far away. Here we go. And no, I have not cut my tails yet, but it is, of course, the Maja cardigan is finished. So I have sticked it. I have not blocked it yet, but I have steamed it just to see the nice feel of it, and it fits perfectly without another thick shirt underneath, because when I tried it the first time, I just pulled it over another hoodie. You should not do that though. So I get a little bit panicked, but here it is. But as you might realize, something is missing. I have been wearing this even though I have not cut the tails yet. That's not rare when it comes to me, that you have a little bit of a yarn tail that's coming out somewhere. I do have a serious issue with cutting them. Obviously. So I have been wearing this at home, and just to get the feel of it, because I cannot decide which type of buttons I want to use. I do not have any good buttons at home. I just have light wooden buttons, and I don't want to use them on this one. I don't think they don't match as good. So I cannot decide which type of buttons I want to use. So I have been wearing it at home, and I tried to get some type of feelings for which button I will purchase and buy, because we do not have a store here in my little town where you can go in and buy buttons. You need to order them or go to one of the bigger cities. So And I do actually have my grandma. Maybe I should go to grandma and look at her stash, because she has a huge stash. Otherwise I have my ways to one of the bigger cities this Sunday. So if I don't find any good on no, grandma it will be. But if I don't find any good things when I go and visit my grandma this afternoon, then I probably going to look for something when I go to Uppsala this Sunday. Yeah, so the Maja cardigan is finished, and I just love it. I just love it. But as you might see, here we have the blue on this one, and this is the, I cannot remember what this is called. I think it's called denim blue. But I don't have that in the yoke, because I was counting out that you can see that I have not blocked it this good. So I need to wet block it. I really do. I skipped that one out of this part because I don't know. I don't know why I did it, but I did it because I didn't feel it. So that this pattern is just on the sleeves and the bottom part. So that's one of the... No! Now I know why I did it. Now I realized why I did it. I needed to compensate a bit, because when I did my left sleeve, I was ending the increases much earlier than on the right side. The right side is the right amount of stitches that you need to pick up. Not to pick up, to make this whole yoke go together. But because of my issue on the left side, you see I cannot even keep this together anymore. On my left side, I needed to make it smaller to do it not as visible that this side is a bit very much smaller, and also prevent it from sliding down on the left side. So that's why I didn't do that motif with the blue, because then it was so noticeable that I have done a lot of more both increases and decreases on that first row. So I did go with the brown one, or more rust color thing on this section, and also I didn't start it when I should start it. So this yoke size is just a mix and match, try and error through it all to make it fit good, because this side is actually almost, I think it's almost 5 centimeters smaller, and this side spread out from this bottom band to the middle of the back. And I don't know if you can actually see it, that it is a little bit smaller. Yes, you can. You see this goes far away over there, and this is more narrow. But when I have it on, it's not visible, because then it's actually fitting my body perfect. So it was fun to modify it to actually fit me. So this is not going to go anywhere because it's modified to fit me. And I made this aerial sweater also from Unit, maybe it was. And I said exact the same thing, that I modified it for me. I did no, it was the Water Lily cardigan. from Unit that I modify on this same way, because I used the measurement from that one on this one. And I said the exact same thing about it. It's gonna go nowhere. It's gonna stay with me. Do you think I still have that in my wardrobe, in my possession? No, my mom stole it, so yeah. It is what it is. But she is much smaller over her shoulder than I am. I'm a little bit broader over my shoulder anyway, so she can wear it. But someone else that are in the same size as me, it's going to look wonky, I think. You need to be smaller than me. So yeah, this is going to be used into pieces, even though it might never get the buttons. If I don't find the right ones, I'm gonna use it without them. Because I love it. I love it. It was so much fun to knit this one. I loved it from the beginning to the end, even though I had a little bit of headache figure all of this out on the yoke, but it turned out great in the end. So that's all about finished object for this week. And talking about whip, I'm so angry about myself because I knew this it's Friday today. It's Friday the 22nd of March today. And I knew I would record a podcast today because I had planned for it the whole week. And I didn't take out my Irish Eye cardigan from Beale that I am doing for part of a knit along, make along. From Knitting with Cat Hair is hosting this beautiful make along, knit along from Beale. So go over to Knitting with Cat Hair's podcast. I will have everything linked down below. And if you want to join in, because her Slack group is the most wonderful. Even though I'm not so active, because obviously my head has more hours on a day that it actually is. So I think I'm gonna make everything, but I don't. Because the thing I was trying to say was that I have made a huge progress on it. Because spring is in there, I'm craving lighter things to knit and also lighter things to wear. Because it's starting to be quite hot outside. Today is actually just 3 degrees Celsius outside. Yesterday we had almost 15 degrees Celsius outside. And you might not believe it, we still have snow on the ground, even though it was so hot. So we still have a lot of snow left. Not a lot of snow, but a bit. So I cannot show you that one. That's a little bit sad though. But I will show it next time. But I had my birthday, as I said, of this beginning of March. And birthday needs a birthday cast on, and so I did. So I cast on, ta-da! It is the September sweater from PetiteKnit. I have made a fair bit on the body. Not so much actually. And I have started one sleeve. And this is taking so much more time than I actually was planning to take. Reason number one is I had to rip back the sleeve all the way back because I was almost finished with it when I decided I don't want more of a fitted sleeve. It was still a bit oversized sleeve, it was, but I wanted a balloon sleeve. So I ripped it all back and I did just one decrease. So I did the first decrease. Otherwise it's gonna be way too much of a balloon sleeve. And then I just gonna take it all together before the cuff. So that is my decision. on this one. And then I'm gonna, of course, do the same on the other one, and then I'm gonna keep working on the body, do the neckline, and then it will be finished. But reason number 2 is I have not had the time to knit. I have this I made from the 6th of March to the 9th of March. Then it have just been laying in the basket and been looking at me and asked me if I'm going to finish it soon. So the time is running away from me. But I knit it in PetiteKnit from Sadness Gone. And don't ask me why this color, but it is this color. Drops Kid Silk. And this is just because I wanted a little bit of green. If someone is thinking that green is one of my favorite colors, you got it all wrong. Yes, it is one of my favorite colors. But I wanted a little bit of green. So when I ordered this, it actually on the picture looked more like, you will see, this. So yeah, it was quite a big difference, but I'm quite pleased because, as you see on this sweater, that this is more suitable. It turned out a little bit more like a gray white-ish instead, because I think this two would be too much of a contrast anyway. So it is what it is. It turned out quite good anyway. So this is my main project of the Irish eye, but this would probably be finished sooner because I don't need to think anymore of this one. I just need to do the brioche and work on it. So it's quite mindless. The Irish eye cardigan, I really need to pay attention, because if you don't pay attention to the pattern, you will end up losing track of everything you do, and you have no clue what you have done and what you should do now. Because her pattern is not hard, but they are very, very interesting, and it's happening things all the time. You work from one direction to another direction. You are picking up stitches, you are working in the flat, on the flat, and then you're working in the round, and it's a very interesting type to make a pattern, I think. Yeah. Because for me it's keeping my interest when it's happening something all the time, more or less. So yeah, other work in progress. I had, of course, started a new pair of socks because I was finished with my other pairs of socks. And then I need a new car knitting. So this is my new car knitting. It's the Irish Dream by Drops Design. Sorry for my dog is barking. He is quite upset because he is not allowed to be outside today, even though it's quite hot outside. Or hot, I should not say warm. Because it's so muddy. So this is my sock that I'm working on right now, my car knitting, and it's worked up in one strand of Novita Vanda and one strand of Limo Designs Kalas, her party colorway, and I love this. I do. So that's coming along pretty good. I was working on this when we was going away to the spa where me and my husband went away for the weekend of the beginning of March, the 2nd of March actually, we was away. So yeah. Oh, you're going to a spa and you are knitting. Yes, I was, because I was tired and I didn't want to be socialite with other people. So I was knitting. That's my thing that I do. What I do when I'm not liking to be around people, I'm knitting, because then no one is actually talking with me, and that's good. But otherwise, work in progress. I have been working a little bit on Victory's blanket, but it's nothing new on it because I have just made a bunch of new squares. So that's my work in progress. I also have the shawl that I was showing last time, but that shawl is actually laying in the bedroom, and it's nothing new that have happened, so I don't even gonna go and get it. But I do have bought some new yarn. It just happened because Diana from Hexkette died. Sorry that I am off camera. So, Diana from Hexkette died. She had an Easter kit, a fade kit, and I couldn't resist. I couldn't. And this is on her regular sock base, so it's wool and nylon. And she also sent me a little Easter mini. It's so yellow. This will go into Victory's blanket, of course, because Victory is liking. He has 3 favorite colors. One is all shades of blue, and also yellow and red is his favorite colors, and he's also liking green. But if you ask him his favorite colors, he will tell you all shades of blue, yellow and red. So that's into his blanket. This was probably going to be a shawl, but don't get surprised if it ends up for a dress to Alma. So we shall see what this is going to be. But I also might have purchased a lot of yarn. Okay, my defense is they had a huge sale, and I'm still not a huge fan of Drops yarn, but Drops Charisma and the mohair. The mohair is very, very affordable. So I thought I heard some kids, but my kids are in school and kindergarten, and they are actually almost 10 kilometers away from me, so it should not be them. So yeah, this is going to be a sweater that actually is a cardigan. The Siri cardigan from Lisa, can her name be Öhman, maybe? She's a Swedish designer. She's a lovely designer. The Siri cardigan was very, very popular for a while ago. It was a really hype here in Sweden, anyway. Almost everyone that I knew who knits have knit that one, except me. Because I have always thinking about that one as a sweater. So I will make that one. I will pop in a picture of him. When you see it, you probably know what I'm talking about if you not recognize it with the name. But I will make that one a sweater instead. I have not just have the brain space to actually recalculate the yoke. So the motif will go and line up good. So that's a new cast on that will be made in a decent future. I have a little bit else that I need to do first. The September sweater will be finished first. That's one sweater that really needs to be finished before, because that one is eating my needles right now in that size that I need. And also I need to do a lot more on the Irish Eye cardigan, because that cardigan is actually soon proper to wear. because of the weather, even though the weather today is terrible because it's so damp outside, and it's foggy and it's like misting outside. So yeah, it's not the most suitable weather. So yeah, that's my plan for that yarn. But otherwise, why I have been busy? Yeah, all the birthday, me and my husband have been away. I have just started a new thing that I cannot talk about. It's actually not a new thing. It has been something that have been going on for a while. But now I am in the beginning of the end, if I say so. I cannot tell you over here what I am up to, because I do not gonna throw it out on the internet. I know that a few of you already know what I'm talking about, but to the end and to the result is made, it's going to be an internet secret. I'm not gonna push it out over here, but in one way it makes me feel a lot of release. I'm not gonna divorce my husband, we are not going to have another kid, we are not moving, nothing about that. Everything in the family is going great, everything on the farm is just as it used to be, so it's nothing like that. It's something that have been dragging me down for a very long time, and it have been very much of an issue, I would say. And I'm not gonna point my finger in any type of direction. I think if you're reading between the lines a little bit, I think you know what I'm talking about, but I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it from the day the decision and everything is clear. Yeah, we are making progress, if I saying so. So yeah, that's all. Otherwise, life stuff. A lot of things have actually been happening over here at home. As you can see, one of the walls over here, that's actually plaster on it right now. It get a little bit of a sacrifice because we have been working on the upstairs. I know 2 episodes ago we were living here in the living room, me and my husband, because of the water pipings and all of that. We needed to rip up the floors and all of that. All of that is now done, but we didn't move back upstairs. My oldest son and his little brother moved back upstairs, even though Victory had said all the time he don't want to be on the upper floor on the building house, maybe I should say, because he had a really nasty fall from the stair once. But he had got a little bit older and a little bit more stable. If you have a kid with special needs, I think you know what I'm talking about when I say stable. His balance is much better now than it was before. So my oldest one, David, he wanted to move up, and he wanted to move up with Victory, because those two are very tight, very, very tight. They are inseparable. So they moved upstairs. I talked to Dave before and said when he has his friends over here, and that Victory is of course able to go and sleep with Alva. And also I have realized pretty fast that when Dave is not home, he has some sleepover with his friend, his grandma's or something like that, and has sleeps over there. He is actually sleeping with Alva anyways, because he is still a little bit should I say frightened? No, but worried to sleep all by himself. He has night when he's actually make it, but some other times he just wants some company. And then I don't necessarily mean that they share beds, but they share rooms, that he knows that someone else is in the same room where he's sleeping. So, but everything had gone over expecting well between all of the kids of this rearrangement. So me and my husband, we are back where we begin, on the smallest room in the whole house. But it doesn't matter, because the only thing we do, we go to bed and we go up. That's the only use for that room anyway. But I didn't actually cope well with the bed we had there. I left that bed for my oldest son when we were moving upstairs, and he either didn't like it, so I bought a new one, and that had made a huge difference, I would say. Even though my sleeping hours are not better, I feel better because I don't have a much pain in my back as I had with the old bed, and my husband is saying the same thing. So yes, it was a little bit more expensive, but it was totally worth it. It was. So that's something that have been going on. We have done all of this thing, and I'm in a huge sloop of cleaning everything out. I want to get rid of so much stuff. I have so much outgrown clothes that I just want to go away. And we have decided we should not have more kids, so we don't have a use to keep them. We don't have the use to save them, but it is what it is. Every time I'm talking about something, someone is calling. It was actually my mom, because Ice, our newest dog over here on this farm, he had a little bit of an incident yesterday, and today he needs surgery. He did hurt his front paw quite bad, so he had done something with his joint, and now he's on the vet station and going to have a little bit of surgery. I hope it's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. He's young, so it's probably going to be okay. But we didn't think he actually needed surgery, but it was better that we thought. That's the thing with animal. You should never second guess. You should always go to a vet, because they are not the most showing animals that they are in pain. So one visit more than one visit less is a good thumb line, I think. A thumb rule, maybe you call it. So yeah, and that's another reason why my falcon is upset, because that's his best friend and he's not home, so he has no one to play with for now, because the other dogs are not so fun as Ice. Obviously. So anyway, that was more or less all that I had to talk about, I think, today, this week, these 3 weeks. Now it's going to be a little bit easier for me to record, I think. I'm still busy though with all of that that's going on with the thing that I cannot talk about. But it's not all of the birthdays, and also the thing I didn't mention, when my oldest son turned 15, that's the big thing as turning 16 in the States. Here over in Sweden is 15. It's a huge step in the adult world, and he's allowed to take his first driver license for something that's called a tractor. That's a very slow going car that you are allowed to use on the roads with all of the other cars, and he is working on that for now, and all of that stuff is going on. But he came down with a stomach flu that he kindly gifted to his siblings. So all of the kids except Alva have been down with the stomach flu. Me and my husband and Alva, we have actually, knock on wood, been saved from the stomach flu for now. Hopefully it keep that way, because Tuva was the last one who got it. She got it between the night Sunday and Monday. She was down for a couple hours, but then she was feeling fine again. And Dave too, he was down for a couple hours and then he was feeling fine again. And the day after he felt just perfect, like normal. And then Victory the same. So it was a very quick ride, obviously. So I don't know if it is something that they have been eating, because when his request when he was turning 15, it was he wanted a pizza night and he wanted a take-away pizza, so we ordered pizza. And after that, Dave came down, and then Victory, and then Tuva. But everyone have been well when Victory was turning 7 this Wednesday. So yeah, all the birthday is for now finished. My husband had his birthday, Alva, Victory, Dave, I. Now we just have to wait to October when Tuva is having her birthday and turning 13. So now I probably will be able to record a little bit often. I cannot speak, I mix up all the words. But it's fine. Everything is normal. But as I said, I have a little bit of other thing on my plate to deal with also. But I will try to be a little bit more active all over the place, because in my mental state I'm on a much better place now. Even though I had my huge loss of my wonderful cardigan. Yeah, it had taken really hard. It had, I will not lie, but also I don't know if this is gonna sound quite evil, but I feel a huge relief for her, because the last 2 months before she passed, she was suffering so hard. She was feeling so unwell. So I'm starting to come to peace with it, even though I'm of course in a huge grieving period over her, because it's empty. But I'm starting to come to peace with it, and yeah, sorrow and grief is the price we paid for love. So yeah, but with that said, now I need to go and start cleaning a little bit. Then I need to do some computer work. And after that, I will actually try to go outside, because they told me it's going to be sunny on the afternoon, so we shall see. And then I'm gonna sit outside on it today. So I will see you very soon, hopefully next week, and I hope I will see you then. Take care, bye bye.